Hey guys, welcome to Boxing Squared for boxing news and views from around the internet. We are well and truly into fight week now for the Anthony Joshua and Carlos Takam fight. We've got 3 heavyweight fights in total scheduled for this card on October 28th. Well, hopefully 3. There does seem to be some doubt about whether Dave Allen and Lenroy Thomas, that rematch, which is for the Commonwealth title, there's doubt whether that's actually going ahead. I mean, certainly tweets from Dave Allen in recent days did suggest that there was some doubt. And then all of a sudden now, Allen has deleted his Twitter account. So I'm at a little bit of a loss. I'll just have to wait and see. It's hard to know what's going on that front. But before he did exit the Twitter sphere, Allen said that if Thomas did pull out, and we didn't really even know why this fight was in doubt, there was all these rumors floating around, but whatever, if he does pull out, apparently another fighter is on standby. So I guess all we can do is watch the space. So later in the video, I'll get to Dillian Whyte and Whyte and Helenius and their escalating war of words. But first, a little bit on Anthony Joshua and Carlos Takam. So Joshua says Carlos Takam, who is a late replacement. Obviously, Kubrat Pulev pulled out about a week or so ago. Joshua says it's not a fight that he expects to win in a round or two. He won't be ending it quickly, he doesn't think. So the Brit has told Sky Sports, people have said, Josh, what round, what round? I think we're going for a 10 to 12 round fight because this guy's head is like a block of cement. And that is really a good quote because that's quite true. Takam is definitely durable. And part of his strategy, and this is something I've criticized Joseph Parker for before as well, Takam sort of eats a lot of punches to get off some of his work. Some of his defense is actually stopping punches with his face. I do agree with Joshua on that front that he's durable. I mean, but will the fight really go to the championship rounds or even close to it? I mean, I'm not so sure. I mean, I would pick Joshua to win probably in somewhere between round 6 to round 8 range. And Takam probably eats a lot more punches than fans will expect, or some fans at least. I think Takam, he has the ability to touch AJ up a little bit along the way here. Takam is no joke, and I covered that in a previous video. Here's a card on screen. He's a bit more dangerous in terms of the power front than Pulev is. So he could have the potential to hurt Anthony Joshua. And, you know, as an outsider to, you know, for a banana skin type fight, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a shock loss, but I'm certainly not expecting it either. But, I mean, there's an outside chance. I think Joshua's comments serve 2 purposes. So he's talking to Takam up here. Takam, he's obviously been drafted in at short notice, and some fans, especially casual fans who dip in and out of boxing, they don't know who he is. Carlos who? I mean, remember Eddie Hearn had a couple of months. He had a number of weeks to warm fans up to Kubrat Pulev and the threat that he'd be posing to Joshua in their fight in Wales. So even if Joshua really thinks he can get Takam out of there quickly, he's got to talk him up as a credible opponent. And that's going to help sell the pay-per-view. At the end of the day, this is a pay-per-view fight. They've got to keep the interest high and generate sales. I mean, that's what this is all about. Boxing is a business. Anthony Joshua is a product. It really is that simple. And part of it as well, of Joshua saying, I think it'll go 10 rounds, you know, 10 to 12 rounds, that's for expectation management purposes. Just in case he does get pushed into those deeper waters. He can then say afterwards, well, hand on heart, you know, I told everyone it was going to be a tough fight. He can say, well, you know, I did deliver on what I said I was going to do. I beat him, and I knew it was going to be a tough fight, and people underestimated him. And if he does over-deliver on the night, you know, from his prediction, if he does get it over, saying 4 rounds or 6 rounds, that's going to play well in the media as well. So he's kind of having a bob each way here and, you know, trying to make things more credible, but also trying to manage expectations at the same time. I think it's going to be a good challenge for Joshua for as long as it lasts. But eventually I do think he's going to catch up with Takam. Interestingly, a number of commentators from a recent video that I did And I kind of, have this that I haven't been able to shake as well. I can't help thinking, is this going to be a banana peel type fight for Anthony Joshua? I mean, those do come when we least expect them. Lennox Lewis had it, Mike Tyson. I mean, there's so many examples of this over the years. And some of his comments recently about he is going to lose at some point, I guess that kind of feeds into that narrative. And maybe some would say that he's not quite as confident in himself as he should be. I mean, a lot of champions don't really sort of go out and say, I'm going to lose. But that is a reality. I think Joshua, he's bang on for saying it, but it can be taken the wrong way too, and people will criticize him for it. But is this a banana skin fight? I'm not so sure. Ultimately we have to see. Carlos Takam does have a chance. Might be 1 in 10, 2 in 10. I mean, Joshua might beat him 95 times out of 100. But there is a chance that Takam can win. And I do think it's going to be a good fight for as long as it lasts, as I said. Another high-profile heavyweight fight on that card that many fans are looking forward to, including myself. It's the Robert Helenius and Dillian Whyte fight. I mean, given it was made just, under 2 weeks ago, under 2 weeks out from the fight, these guys, they've been going into overdrive with the trash talk. We know that Whyte loves to operate in that realm anyway, but Helenius has been giving as good as he's been getting. In his most recent statement, Helenius says, I will definitely win by knockout. He will definitely fall. I know it will be a tough fight, but it will be a tough fight for Dillian more than it will be for me, and it will be a loss on his record. That's it. I hope he stands and fights with me and doesn't run, as his reputation suggests. I have absolutely no worries about ring rust because I am always in training. I feel I have 10 years left in boxing, and during this time I will definitely become world heavyweight champion. I have no doubts. This is my fight, not his, and I do not care about Whyte or what he does well. I have seen his fight with Joshua where he was knocked out, and he will suffer a similar defeat when he steps in with me. Make no mistake, I am coming to the UK to conquer. This fight will assist me in getting a world title shot. I want to fight with Wilder. I know I can KO him, and I will KO him if I get the fight with him. In my opinion, Joshua is the best of the current heavyweight champions. Of course, I want to fight with him also. In response, Dillian Whyte says he's going to make life hell for Helenius. He says, I don't think he likes the heat, which will play against him because I'm coming to cook something on Saturday. He was supposed to be the next Vladimir Klitschko. They were really pushing him at one stage. He's had a couple of slip-ups along the way, but he's very experienced compared to me. I'm very close to a world title shot. With all the world champions out there being tall, we've been chasing tall opponents for the past few. We've been unlucky securing those fights, so now we're here with Helenius. I've got a saying, it's better getting an ugly win than a pretty loss. So I'll do whatever I have to do when I get out there. In regards to Deontay Wilder, Whyte was quoted as saying, Wilder is a disgrace. I want to get in a position to fight for his belt because he is not going to do it voluntarily. Wilder is a chump. He has not fought a mandatory in 2 years, and Joseph Parker is defending his title on YouTube, so that shows his level. That says it all. AJ is the man at the minute. I want the rematch with Joshua. I'd like to fight Parker or Wilder first. They are the two weakest world champions. I'd beat one of those, which would then set up a massive rematch with Joshua over here at Wembley or Cardiff, or even another country. I'd even fight him in Nigeria. So I've got to say, even though this Whyte-Helenius fight was set at short notice, I really do like this fight. It has real potential to be another barnstormer, similar to the Chisora-Whyte one. I mean, that had a great build-up, obviously a bit of a long lead-in time. But we weren't actually sure how that one sort of turned out on the night, and it ended up being a cracker. I mean, Whyte will turn up to fight. Helenius, he's a good operator, and arguably, he's got a decent shot at winning as well. I mean, I do favour Whyte slightly heading into that fight, but Helenius could well come through it and be the victor. And if the Allen and Thomas rematch goes ahead, then it's a very solid night of heavyweight boxing, which will be well complemented by fights that include Buglioni, Taylor, Yafai, and some others on the card there as well. Your thoughts, please, on who wins and why from any of those heavyweight fights that I mentioned that are on that card. What do you make of Joshua's comments? Can Helenius grab an upset? And what are we to make of the Allen and Thomas situation? Drop a comment, hit like, hit subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, boxing_squared. That's boxing_squared. I'm out.